maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten justice?
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
Well, I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, Mr. President. You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
Yeah, they shouldn't be ashamed of Kaitlan Collins. They should be incredibly proud of her. I think that anybody who wants journalists to actually do their job should be very proud of her, not just for asking the question, which, bear in mind, the question that triggered Donald Trump and made him poop his big boy pants was, what do you say to the people who think there hasn't been justice? And he freaks out about it. Meanwhile, she is stone-faced, professional. The president of the United States, a guy who 6-Pam Bondi on anybody doesn't like, is attacking her. Doesn't affect her at all. Absolute nerves of steel, and I love to see it. And he's being gross and he's being misogynistic and all of that. And yes, it does demonstrate how he is still utterly terrified of this issue, but that part isn't surprising. This happens a lot, that he lashes out at people, especially women, and the "I've never seen you smile" is just making it a level of misogynistic, just explicit, that we normally don't see. But the issue is that because it happens so much, why does nothing happen? I'm not saying consequences, really, that's not gonna happen, but like, they're in a room filled with journalists, and after he does that, they just move on. They always just move on. And I wanna read just a couple of tweets. Maxwell Frost, the representative who was recently attacked by a Trump fan, said, how does a journalist hear those disrespectful comments to one of their colleagues and then continue asking their question like nothing happened? And I'm not expecting you to have a massive backbone and be like, Mr. President, what the hell is going on? Why are you complaining and whining and crying about a question that Kaitlan Collins? But like, maybe just ask her question again. Demand that he answer it. You'll make news, by the way, if you do that. It's gonna get covered, and yet they don't. They just move on because maybe they don't have the nerves of steel that Kaitlan Collins has. Maybe they're terrified about how they'll feel if he attacks them. And I don't get it. I don't get solidarity, whether it's solidarity between the other women journalists there. There were women politicians, by the way, in the background. Kaitlan Collins was in the room. The youngest Republican woman ever elected to the Senate, Britt, was in the room. Nothing to say, no comment, whatever. Just brutalize this young woman or whatever. Mock her, mock the fact that she doesn't smile when looking at your ragged carcass. And they just move on, Sharon, and I will never understand that.
Part of it is crabs in a barrel, and I'm sorry, but there are so many members of the media who were among those who wanted to parse what Don Lemon did or call it out and claim that it wasn't journalism because they were jealous because people like Jane Fonda and others were saying, attaboy, keep going, okay? But you're absolutely right. Trump has won, okay? And you can measure the battle as like, this marathon and how close are we to the finish line of no free press ever anywhere in America. But why not pick up where she left off? And I too love the fact that he could not penetrate, okay? This steely look on her face. She was just going to keep it there no matter what, because it's not about her, it's about the question. She was asking about the victims, and he should know a lot about that, and he just wanted to deflect. I don't know why our fellow journalists can't realize an attack on her is an attack on all of us. Raise the collective integrity of America. That's what we have to do. And one by one, if they want to kick him out of there, what are you really losing? Access to what?
Yeah, what is this? I mean, if you're not getting actual answers to your questions, then what is the point of it? I mean, look at what happened with the Pentagon. Anyway, I want to turn to others who aren't doing anything about what's going on. Let's play this clip.
President Trump's name is mentioned more than 1,000 times in these documents. Why not try to get more information from him? Try to get him to testify.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that every time you all do a gaggle like this with President Trump, somebody asks him about Epstein. So he's been answering questions about Epstein.
Not under oath.
But, has Bill Clinton ever answered any questions on Epstein or Hillary Clinton? So this is going to be a new opportunity, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, but the Clintons are gonna testify and they are gonna be under oath. I mean, you're both sidesing, but like, okay, then let's both sides it. Let's have both of them under oath. He wants to have his both sides and eat democracy too. I don't understand it at all. He seems to care about what people in the Epstein files have to say about this. I mean, he's pretending to care about what Bill and Hillary Clinton have to say, and yet Donald Trump appears in the Epstein files way more times, and he was actual best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and he's covering up the Epstein files, or trying to at least. It's buffoonish and clownish, it's not working, but he's trying to. All of this is highly suspicious. So maybe ask him some questions too. But don't worry. I mean, every time you have a press gaggle, people try to ask him questions, and we played you the clip with Kaitlan Collins previously on the show. He loses his mind. That's not answers. That's a reason to haul his ass in and put him under oath. But of course, James Comer is never gonna do that because he's a pathetic little lackey of Donald Trump. He doesn't care about justice. He doesn't care about the victims. He doesn't care about taking down elite networks of sex predators and pedophiles and all that stuff. He cares about stopping Donald Trump from tweeting something mean about him. And so, yes, they're gonna haul Bill and Hillary in. They made this deal where they'll come in so that there won't be this contempt vote or whatever. And so they'll have questions asked of them, which is good. I don't have a problem with that at all. But not Donald Trump, not Elon Musk, by the way, who also appears in the files and seemed desperate to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Howard Lutnick, by the way, appears multiple times. For some reason, he doesn't have to be brought in. Isn't it odd that Republicans can appear any number of times? And James Comer, that looks like nothing to him. But Bill and Hillary, well, that's a matter of national security. We got to get them in right now. What do you think, Sharon?
A lot of smoke, no fire. I'm actually bored with the Bill and Hillary thing. It's not that I don't want to learn more, and I too, listen, I think we know about Bill Clinton and his activities over the years. That's different than being a predator, and we're talking about underage people who are survivors now, those who made it. So it's not that I don't want more information, but I hope that Americans can see exactly what's going on here. If I can't get the whole truth, then you can just stop bending my ear with any of it, okay? I want to keep digging for all of the transparency, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. If you harmed young women, girls, I wanna know, okay? And we're not gonna get it from Bill and Hillary's deposition that will be videotaped and then selectively leaked and released and spun, and things they did say will be spun and things they didn't say will be spun. That's not the truth. The truth lies with Donald Trump, if he even is aware of what truth means. Pam Bondi also not coming in, I guess. Nobody else is coming in. We released it all. There's nothing else here. It's just so tiring. But the thing is, we can't get exhausted. We have to keep going and demanding the truth. And I do worry that when it comes to the next administration, and there will be another one, what will be left? I don't know if they can destroy everything, but what will be left? I remember Fani Willis telling me right before she took office, the state of her office, what was left from the outgoing guy who was under some investigation. Dumpsters and things were in disarray, and secret things were taken outside, and garbage dumps and a lot of things. So I wonder what's actually going to be left.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder that of our economy, of our government, of our society, and our media, definitely. Yeah. Anyway, so look, good that they keep asking the questions. Comer isn't going to do anything, so at least have a little bit of fun with it. Just like if you're that reporter, next time you see James Comer, ask him, hey, when the biggest donor to Donald Trump, Elon Musk, was messaging a guy who years earlier had been in jail for trafficking kids and saying he wanted a wild party, what do you think Elon Musk was hoping would happen at that wild party with the pedophile? Ask him that. You're not gonna get anything out of it. You might as well have some fun.